I'm Alex Hoffman and I work for Data Explorers in the London office. The topic of today's video briefing is going to be rights issues in the European market. And we've seen a host of companies issue confirmed rights and also potential rights issues in the next few weeks. We've used Deal Reporter's data to analyse stocks which have got potential rights issues coming up. And the names which we're going to focus on today are Brixton, Infineon, Carillion, Rexam, SOS Quatara, and Rio Tinto. So if we look at the Excel file in front of me, you can see this is the list of potential rights issue companies in Europe with the 1 week change, the 1 day change, the 1 month change. So we've analysed these companies, and the companies which have seen the biggest rise in short interest as measured by the percentage of shares outstanding on loan are the companies that I named earlier. So if we look at International Index Explorer, looking here at Rio Tinto, the Aussie listing of Rio Tinto, over the past 3 months, this has seen very strong price rise, but also over the past week or so, we've seen a big rise in the amount of stock on loan. Clearly, this is caused by a number of reasons, in particular, the announcement of a $15.2 billion rights issue last Friday. If we look at the UK listing of Rio Tinto, this has seen an even sharper rise in amount of stock out on loan from about 1.4% up to 1.9%. Bear in mind that this is a £95 billion company, so that represents a significant amount on loan. Looking at the other names, starting with Brixton PLC. Brixton, there is takeover talks, and those are publicly announced, so there is a play on the takeover angle. However, there is also potential for a rights issue. This is a £178 million British property investor which owns 19 million square feet of industrial warehouse space. But the market is suggesting there is potentially going to be a rights issue in this name. We've seen the amount of shares outstanding on loan rise from 4% going up through 7% in the past month. Moving on to Carillion. Carillion is a £1.08 billion UK company. Today, it announced that it has sold its IT services division to Capita for £36 million. Now, this reduces the likelihood of a rights issue. However, looking at our data, which is on a T+1 basis, this suggests here that the amount of shares out on loan has risen from 2.2 to 3.2% in the past month. So the market was expecting a rights issue in this name. That likelihood has reduced following the sale of £36 million of assets, or the IT services division, to Capita today. Moving on to Infineon Technologies. This is the large German semiconductor company with a market cap of 1.96 billion euros. It specializes in the global autos, industrials, multi-market, chip card and securities markets. And we have seen a big spike in the amount out on loan since during the month of May. If we actually reduce this down to 1 month and focus on the shares outstanding on loan, this has actually risen from 6% up to a high of nearly 15%, and it's now standing at 13% out on loan. So the market is expecting a rights issue in this name, suggesting according to Deal Reporter, and we have seen a rise in the amount out on loan. Moving on to Rexam PLC. Rexam is a global consumer packaging company with a large market cap, £1.94 billion. Its first quarter sales were hit by a weakening demand for beer and soft drinks, and it has recently paid a dividend here on the 5th of June. If we extend the time horizon out to a period of 6 months, however, you will see that shares out on loan have risen gradually from December, when they stood at 2%, up to today's levels, which are just over 4.5%, nearly 4.5%. And when we compare today's dividend with the dividend here on the 10th of October, you will see there is significantly more borrowing today than there was back in October. So the market is potentially indicating that there could be a rights issue in Wrexham, according to our numbers here. Finally, looking at SOS Quatara. SOS Quatara is a Spanish vegetable oil, rice and food manufacturer. They're taking legal action against two former executives, the Salazar brothers, and Credit Suisse has been instructed to raise 200 million euros to a capital increase. We have seen quite a sharp rise in the amount of shares out on loan since the start of May. And that concludes today's daily video briefing. For more information, please visit www.dataexplorers.com. Thank you for listening and have a great day. And if you're in New York, please enjoy the forum.